One of the most common art room tour requests I've had is to show what is inside my happy little wall o' drawers. So I'm going to do that. I'll give you a peek inside each one to show you the kinds of things I keep in mine. These are all iris cards. They have casters that go on the bottom, but they kind of pull off, they kind of snap in and out. So I've pulled all of the casters off of them and stacked one unit on top of the other. They come with these different drawer configurations. They're not modular, you know, you can't mix and match. They come the way they are. But they're cheap. I bought them with coupons, and oh my gosh, they work absolutely great. I wouldn't give these up for the world. I love them. Okay, I'm going to start here at the top, and we're going to go horizontally instead of vertically. I'm going to have to pick up the camera and move the tripod every time, but I will try to keep it as smooth as possible. I think that will be much smoother than trying to adjust it up and down each time as we go. So let's do the first, we'll do the first top two drawers in each stack. Starting here with hot glue, and that is what it is, hot glue. These are all extra and backup glue guns. My main glue gun is in another spot where the tools are. Q-tip container, I'll tell you, they're everywhere. The second one is glue sticks or skinny glue, small glue containers, you know, not big honking glue, nori paste, things like that. Okay, moving to the next one. Here we have, this is powdered pigments and moon glow. These were called moon glow. They're just a different brand of powdered pigments. These are some of my favorite pigments. And some schminky powders. These are all Pearl X and powdered pearls and pearly perfect pearls and just anything pearly in a little jar goes there. And see, things like this, they don't even need any kind of fancy special container because they're all pretty and they organize themselves just like they are. And okay, we're doing this. And the next one is, the label says paint brushes, tube rollers, sponge brushes. And that's what it is, sponge brushes. This container is some of those little clip things that you put on tube paints to roll them up when they start getting empty. You know, like the deals you put on your toothpaste. Yeah, that's what those are. And these are some really, really cheap brushes that I got. I use them mainly for things like resin, and because you can't wash your brush out when you brush resin on, so they're disposable. So that's what they are, and that's why I have so many, because I got them for like a whole big thing for maybe a couple of dollars. This right here is shelf liner, cheesecloth, texture tools. There's no organization at all involved in there. It is just crammed in there, and that is just to paint with, just stuff to make texture. And then next, this is ink pads, permanent pads and distress inks, some memories pads, lots of memories pads, and then these are the few distress inks that I have. This next one is die pads and rainbow pads. Nice. It's all these kind of rainbow pads. And then just other random die pads. I think these are, yeah, that kind. I used to have Marvy Matchables in here, but I used them all up a while back painting papers. And then this is tissue and napkin scraps. So if I'm working on something, I've got just a little piece left of a tissue paper or a napkin paper, you know, anything thin like that. I put the scraps in here. And then these are big sheets of tissue papers. They're, you know, a little bit more significant than scraps. And down at the bottom, that's my Spectra bleeding art tissue. I keep it separate because it bleeds. It needs to be separate. And this is the last one in the row. This is rubber stamps, this whole row right here. The top drawer is acrylic blocks. Most of my unmounted stamps are still in the old school Halos system, so that's what these are. But you flip them, well, that's a bad example. It's a good example. You flip it over, it's got the smooth acrylic side, so you can use it with the clear stamps like they have now that just need plain acrylic blocks, you know. So that's what that is. And then my stamps are in categories according to just what I have most of. This top unit right here is unmounted stamps, and then the bottom unit is wood mounted. So this first one is unmounted backgrounds, design elements, and collage images. And I have a whole bunch of these acrylic sheets. Well, that's not a good example. Not a good example. Here's a good example that was used with the Halos, because, you know, it's like Velcro. So you have the Velcro right here, and then these strips of Velcro, so you can put them here and then line them up to store it, which is fabulous. I couldn't afford to buy enough of these sheets to accommodate all of my stamps. I only have a few of them, and then the rest are just thrown in willy-nilly. But yeah, there's not much organization here, and this is the reason why. Okay, I've been rubber stamping since 1991. It's changed a lot over the years, but one thing that hasn't changed is a rubber stamper's tendency to accumulate a lot of them. So I pared down my stamp collection considerably and set aside ones that I wanted to put on Etsy to sell. This was like over 2 years ago, and I've been kind of working on trying to do that ever since. Okay, clearly I'm not working on it really hard because it shouldn't take 2 years. I'm dragging my feet on it. And another reason I haven't done it is because I keep going to that stack of stuff that I want to sell, and I keep pulling stuff out and putting it back in my drawers. So clearly, maybe I'm not ready to sell it yet. So this is the rest of my stamps that are not in the drawers. They're all unmounted, and they're just kind of sitting here, somewhat divided up into categories, waiting for me to get them on Etsy. And there are thousands, literally thousands of stamps in here. And it's overwhelming, you know, to try to go through these, and it's overwhelming. That's why I haven't done it. So anyway, I'm good on stamps. Okay, let me put this back on the tripod and we'll do the next row. Okay, this is the bottom half of this first level of carts. And the next two drawers, this one is glue. This one is, you know, large, serious bottles. These are too tall to stand up in here, so I lay them down. And if they leak, I throw them out and write the company a nasty letter, and then they send me a free one. So, you know, it's all fine. Yes paste I keep in here, and just regular bottles of glue. And below that is tape, all kinds of tape, and these pop dot, you know, dimensional sticker dot deals, my ATG. This is all like foam tape, dimensional stuff, double stick tape, masking tape, anything sticky that's not glue goes in there. Next one is, these are sprays, my vast collection of spray inks, my Daddy Vans, some specialty paint type deals, gelatos, and, you know, paint stick things. There's a few more sprays right there. That's what that is. And down here I have metallic rub-ons. Those are some weird fabric paints. These are some patina making stains, and these are alcohol inks, Tria alcohol inks and shoe polish. Next row is, no, this drawer, yes. The label is, this is Dr. P.H. Martin's, and it's also some liquid acrylics. Liquid acrylics are in the back, and these are my Dr. P.H. Martin's. These are the concentrated watercolors. These are just regular watercolors, different pans and tubes. And then this is just extra things. It's some silks. There's glass paint. There's these modeling or texture cream metallic paste things. And then this whole thing of makeup, which I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It was Taylor's. She cleared out her makeup. She didn't wear makeup anymore. So I thought, you know what? It's color. I'm going to keep it and do something with it. I haven't figured out what, but someday. You just wait. And this last one is Chinese papers. And there's some other things that are not Chinese, but it's mainly Joss papers, things from the Asian market, from Chinatown, and some other random things. And moving along, we have, let's see, where was I? Here. This is chalk pads and pigment ink pads. I have several of these color box chalk pads and then just the regular color box pigment pads. These are some more metallic pigment pads, option pads, and then the little cat's eyes. And then this one is re-inkers, and that is all it is re-inkers. And it's so full that it kind of organizes itself too, which I really like, because I've got this one little container because the distress inks are too tall to stand up, so they have to lean over. Other than that, they're just kind of crammed in there tight. And these are my punches, and that is all the punches that I have in the world. And I don't like keeping them in here. I would rather have them, you know, out like hanging on a thing like you see on Pinterest. You know the one. Someday I'll do that, but for now that's where they live. And next up is, this is crepe paper, stamped images, and mulberry paper. And it is crepe paper, stamped images, and mulberry paper. These are the little bitty stamped images. Okay, some of them aren't stamped, but it was an ad for Judican's rubber stamps in a magazine, and that was her stamp, so I cut it out because I can just color that. There we go, right? This is napkin liners. Some of the things I've made from napkin liners, and the liner paper, and then just the liners straight from the napkins. And product packaging. Sometimes, you know, things come in cool packages and you want to keep them because they're cool. And this is dress patterns right here. I've got several of those, and these are piano rolls for a player piano. And then we're back to the rubber stamp area. The next one is the unmounted Asian themed people and celestial. And this is words and phrases. I'll let them in there. And this one is passport stamps, objects, and postoids. Oh, there's that little one. I've been looking all over for that mount. Huh. And the last unmounted one is flowers, trees, leaves, animals. I think we can call that flora and fauna. These are the casters that go in the drawers. They have a place, and this isn't it. That irritates me. I thought I went through everything. Clearly I did not. Alright, this is the bottom level of units. We'll do the first top two drawers all the way across. These two are empty. Why are they empty? Because you must have room to grow. Absolutely must. Okay. This one is, this is weird stuff. This is stuff, it's Vaseline. Okay, it's not mediums anymore. I need to pull that off. There's some baby powder, some paint cups, some glycerin, some mineral spirits, just kind of weird paint related things. There's some gel deodorant, because I don't like gel deodorant, and I don't even know why I have it, but I think I can probably do something with it. I don't know what, but it's there. Okay. Next is, these are all oil pastels and artist crayons. And this one is chalks, pencils, and pan pastels, and little squares, and sticks, and any kind of chalky thing. Next is, this is kind of not ephemera, but assemblage parts and pieces and things. This drawer is wood and cork, and that is basically what it is. Different little wooden things. These boxes my husband brought home years ago from work. They used to use them in their warehouse. They kept little parts in them, and then they redid their warehouse. I mean, he brought me hundreds of these boxes. So you'll see these all over the art room. That's where they came from. And they're fabulous for, you know, holding little things. And sometimes I just use packaging. I don't know what that was, but it held those little mini popsicle sticks just right. So, wood and cork. Next is metal. So this is all mainly non-rusty metal. I have rusty metal someplace else, but it's just little, well, there's some rusty metal, but you know, I know what's there. Let me put it that way. Just miscellaneous metal letters, metal doodads, bottle caps, whatever those are, metal. Okay. Moving over. This one is another paint-related drawer. These are mark makers. You know, things you paint with and make marks with. A little different than texture. That other drawer had texture tools. That's just kind of a random all over texture pattern. These are more specific shapes, you know, circles, lines, some little stamps that I made out of foam deals, that type of thing. And the final one, we're back to the stamps. These are the, this is the bottom unit. It's full of wood-mounted stamps. And this first one, these are all collage type images. All very, you know, collage-y, hard to define. This next one is backgrounds and design elements. So, you know, little flourishes and swirls and large background deals. Okay, bottom drawers of the bottom drawers. Cabinets, whatever. Alright, this one is vintage sewing stuff. I don't know why I tend to collect so much of this. I don't really sew, but I do, and that's what this is. So, there it is. This is jewelry supplies and things like that, bags. This is miscellaneous. These are things that I've made that I don't know why they're here, but there they are. And this is miscellaneous junk that I don't even know what it is. Okay, you have to allow yourself some junk drawers. I firmly believe that. You just have to. Alright, next one. This one is resin and Omni-Gel. That's where I keep my nicely golden ice resin. It's still good. It's just, you know, needs to be used in a vintage application. And all my resin tools and cups and things like that. And On the bottom is all embossing powders, amazing glaze, embossing pots, that type of thing. And moving down, we are up to this one, beads, bedazzles, and perfect FX. That's beads with a B-E-E-D-Z. That's those little tiny, you know, little holeless round glass bead thing. Yeah, and then these perfect FX are these little mica flakes. And these are the bedazzles. I used those on some flowers recently. So that's what that is. And glitter glue and glitter. I don't like my glitter here. Maybe I would if I had more of these little salt shakers so that they would fit. But this won't stand up. I've got them taped. Not an ideal situation. I don't use glitter very often, so it's not that big a deal. So there we have it. This is foil. Art foil, and just candy wrapper foil. All different kinds of anything foily. And then this one is Mica Tiles Gold Leaf and Metallic Tape. Oops. And that is what it is. Metallic tape. Got a bunch of Mica Tiles, all different kinds. And then gold leaf. There's some of the flakes, and then the sheets are in there too. So, there's that one. And moving down, this is the assemblage unit. We did the wood, we did the metal, we're up to the glass. Miscellaneous glass and slide mounts. These are those microscope slide things. And then I have some of the cool old photo slide mounts. Those are awesome. Pieces of glass and mirror, and those actually might be acrylic, I forget. Oh, those were from a project. There's some beach glass. These are glass tiles, that type of thing. Petri dish. And plastic miscellaneous and game pieces, which is just what it is. Rummy Cube game pieces. These are made out of milk cartons. I'm pretty sure I did a video on that. Not milk cartons, but the gallon-sized jug. And you can make just this cute little container out of a milk jug. And then see, it just has plastic deals in it that I need. I don't know why, but I just know I do. This is miscellaneous collage, assemblage, and bingo cards. Some things make no sense as to why they're together, but they've always been together. That's just where they've always been, so I leave them because I know where they are. This is just weird stuff like those. This is all bingo cards and lotto cards and game things and some slide mounts, and I think that's a doll. Yeah, ugh, she just needs to turn her head that way. I don't want her looking at me. She's scary. Okay. And the bottom one is keys and silverware. And I have an idea for silverware, so I've got something that's going to be coming up in the not too distant future. Some of the silverware is silver plate. Some of it I have rusted on purpose. Some of it is just cheap, you know, thrift store silverware. But I'm going to do something with that. I don't know what. Yeah, I do know what. I have an idea. I just haven't made it happen. Keys. I think Jason gave me those from something. And then these I have collected over the years. They are just all kinds of different keys. And I've actually used quite a bit of them. I've made mobiles, and I've used them in some jewelry. Yeah, so I like my keys, and I use them. Okay, next one is getting tired. Coffee filters, cupcake liners, and styrofoam. Some of the coffee filters have been dyed. These were dyed with avocado. If you boil an avocado peel, it makes a mauvey pink dye. Kind of pretty. These were painted, and there's styrofoam balls, and then all kinds of extra coffee filters and cupcake liners and things. And the bottom one is empty bottles, and it is what it says, empty bottles. Most of them you'll probably recognize from Surplus. You know, you got to keep some of your prescription bottles, just because, and there you have it. And lastly, the last of the rubber stamps, the mounted, we have objects, and that's what it is, objects. This is flowers, trees, leaves, animals. There we go. Words, phrases, miscellaneous. Oh my gosh. Okay, clearly, I must have done that when we moved and had to pull them off really quick and couldn't get to my box. And I bet that's what happened. I stuck them in there. Yeah, that's what these are. Words and phrases and miscellany. This was my very first rubber stamp. This is the one that started it all. That's why I keep it. And the last one is holidays, Egyptian and Asian. So, that is it. Now you have seen inside my drawers. It's not that impressive, is it? Okay, that wore me out. I'm done. The end.